Welcome. As far as I know, Rwanda is the only country in the world that has ever had a countrywide process to deal with experiences of atrocities. And I'm absolutely sure that they are the only country in the world that has done it without using lawyers. Welcome to Session 9, Justice and Generosity. Where are we now? We're in our fifth and last theme, being generous and making peace. No longer dreaming of peace, but making it. A key resource is this book, The Gacaca Courts by Phil Clark. Now, Phil is my nephew. We were at times together in Rwanda. He did a great study on the Gacaca Courts. Now, it's interesting. The subtitle of his book is Justice Without Lawyers. Some of us will be interested in reading the book. Most of us won't need it, and that's fine. Your first activity as a group, looking at those items that make you safe and free, I'd particularly like you to talk about what are the items on the list that help me respect others in the group, regardless of whether I agree or disagree with them. The second sharing, how am I today? What has shifted in me? What caught my attention in the readings? That then leads us to a group reading exercise. Read 1.5 pages from Josephine's story. Yes, we're going way back there. Discuss what were the most challenging moments for her in her interaction with the family, and how is this courageous encounter opening up the possibility for justice. Then a section that you'll read in pairs on prisoner education. Prisoners had to be educated in Rwanda to prepare for the justice process. So read that, and I list 4 words, and I ask, what do these 4 words mean, and what do they contribute to our understanding of justice? Last session, we had the wonderful John Paul Samputu video, and since that session, we have uncovered a short video of Vincent making his response to Samputu's offer of forgiveness. This is filmed about a week or so after the forgiveness was offered at the Gacaca process. Bear in mind that Vincent had actually made his confession in writing many months ago while he was still in prison, and he was actually released and given amnesty to return to the community to wait for his participation in the Gacaca trials. But for some reason, it was very hard for Vincent to accept the offer of forgiveness. After you've listened to the video, have a conversation around why was it hard for Vincent to accept that offer of forgiveness. Put yourself in his shoes if you can. That brings us to another wonderful man, Michael Lapsley, the South African who lost both of his hands, the sight in one eye, the hearing in one ear, when a letter bomb was sent to him by the South African secret police intended to kill him. Now, Michael Lapsley uses a parable about a bicycle. You can read that parable in the book and talk about how does this parable deepen my understanding of restorative justice. So this is justice that helps relationships restored, not justice that punishes. And it's also good to talk about the attitude of Michael Lapsley. How does he cope with not having received an apology nor any justice at all for what he suffered? That will then lead you into a conversation thinking about justice. Now remember from our earlier sessions, first I must be at peace in myself. Whether I'm a victim or an offender, peace grows when I forgive myself, and only then can I as the victim forgive the act of the offender, because forgiveness means letting go. Now, when I am at peace in myself, I can be aware of my feelings and I can confront the offender without hot anger. I know if my anger is hot, I need to do something about it. Once I've cooled down, I can confront the offender in an I'm okay, you're okay way. And I can challenge them to show their regret in a practical way and restore something of what was lost. So, there's a graphic in your study guide that shows the victim confronting gently the offender with their need to change, and also it shows the offender moving their feet towards the victim in order to offer something as a sign of contrition, apology, confession and restitution. Now, this graphic is just a part of a picture which you will get in full in the next session. In this part of the process, I suggest a practical way of visualising the transaction. And I think it's important for us to learn the body language as well as the suitable words and to calmly express them. So once you have discussed the ideas in this 7th step, I want you to work in pairs to practice the action as described. That brings us to the reflection. What stays in me today? What am I feeling right now? What is an action or a decision that I need to take? The reading for the next session is the story of Musabyimana, an amazing man with a great story. And it's this session, I believe, that shows that our hearts and minds can lead our bodies to behave appropriately.